going on now, which club has the biggest pool? Right now in 2023, for one reason or another, Chelsea are proven to have more pool than Liverpool. Or am I capping now? What are we saying?
No,
facts.
You're right.
Facts.
It's the facts, but you got to also look at it from the perspective of the player as well. You know, I'm glad that you raised the point about the player also gets to choose, because I think sometimes we just forget about that. Players do have choice, and when you look at the profile of Lavia, he's a young boy from the UK, come through the academy system at Man City. When you're looking around, the kind of fellow England under 21 players, Chelsea.
He's from Belgium. He's actually from Belgium.
Is he Belgium? Okay.
Yeah, he came through Anderlecht. Yeah.
But when you're looking at the boys that you wanna play with, grow with, develop with, it's Chelsea. They've got the man them right now. They've got the man them who can pop that ball about and put pressure on teams. And that's the bit for me that scared me yesterday, because Poch ain't even started yet. And that's what's scary. So when you're looking at it just from an outside perspective, is Liverpool looking scary? Not really. They did all right, but then they ain't got that. They're not scaring no one. The same with Arsenal. I was drawing out an Arsenal fan yesterday and said, "You lot aren't scary enough. Where's your brute? Where's your brute force? Where's your Xhaka type? You ain't got him." So if you don't have the man,
Deji, chill. It's one game.
Then boom.
Deji, I can't agree with that. It's one game, man. Honestly, you saw Arsenal comfortably probably be the best team in the league last year. They messed up. They should have won the league. How can you say after one game that, they weren't great against Forest, but come on, man. It's one
Patrick,
game.
I'm being real. You heard me before. I already said that Arsenal season last year was a freak season. And from what I saw with them against Nottingham Forest, I'm sticking with my guns, bro. I thought it was a freakish season. They played a dusty Nottingham Forest team. Let's not overhype them, bro. Let's not overhype Arsenal, please.
So you don't think, Deji, that if Arsenal had...
Hang on a second. What's your thoughts on that, Rory?
I mean, it's quite a lazy analysis. Arsenal did actually dominate that game against Forest. And another day, we go 3-0 up, and it is the easiest win you've ever seen. And I think we were playing a new system that we've played maybe 2 or 3 times before because we were at home against Forest. So I'm certainly not worried about our ability to fight for the title again this season.
Sorry, Mo, you had a question.
No, just a simple thing. You don't think that if they had Saliba not injured last year, they would have won the league?
No,
and they were playing sensational football until game week 29. I think that's just lazy to say that it was a freak. They were playing a very consistent brand of football. Every game they were imposing their style of play until Saliba got injured. Rob Holding played. Thomas Partey fell off. So what are the signs? Okay.
Bro,
you're saying, Deji, you're saying things that are hopeful. Thinking. What are the signs? Give me evidence. Give me, how did you build this conclusion?
Bro, I you know me well enough to know I've been consistent on this. There are teams,
they would have had 50 points last year, and you said they're not going to win the league.
Just like every season, a team steps up. Last season, Brighton stepped up, Brentford stepped up. Arsenal overachieved last season. That's a fact. We know that because nobody was expecting Arsenal to do what they did. I'm standing on the fence that I think Arsenal had a freakish season. Let me be proved wrong. To be proved wrong, Arsenal need to be challenging for the league this season. It's a simple line.
What is it you think was freakish though? Considering it was so consistent.
You had players, average players, overperform. Ben White overperformed last year. Ramsdale overperformed last year. Xhaka played out of his skin last year. We've never seen that before. You had, Saka's legit, Martinelli's legit, but a lot of players played out of their skin. Prior to the season starting, you would never have thought that them man were going to produce what they produced. Let's just be real.
Other than Granit Xhaka, who had a much better season than he'd had previously because he was given a completely new role, which worked for him, all of the other players you mentioned are young and not at their peak yet. So is it not just as easy to assume that they're improving season on season and that's why we were there, rather than them outperforming some metric that you don't know what their best is yet?
I hear that, and that's why the measure of time will be the judge of this. Do you get me? Going back with kind of, and we will see if those players are legit. We will see if Ben White is truly legit. We will see. Remember also the Premier League, best league in the world. Every top player has to adapt their game. Let's see what happens. Ramsdale, let's see if he can still produce the goods this season. That's what I'm saying. So I'm not gonna start shaking my bum for Arsenal when I thought they had a freakish season. No way. No way. I've got Arsenal to finish outside the top 4.
I can't lie, Deji. They didn't. Wait, whoa. That's a big claim, Deji. I can't lie to you though. The signs were there from pre-season. Like, I followed Arsenal closely last season. Yeah,
they got slapped up by Man U pre-season.
No, I'm talking about last season, bro. Because you said last season was a freakish. It wasn't, bro. Like they were the real deal. I had Chelsea fans saying the same thing, like, "Oh, Arsenal are just gonna fall off." I was telling them, I said, "Nah, man. They're playing well." Do you know what I mean? And they were on track to win the league. And eventually they got nervous, like Jesus said. I don't agree with that, bro.
Do you think Arsenal are gonna do bits this season?
Look, the other day against Forest, they weren't convincing. Do you know what I mean? Rory might say they dominated. To me, you played into Forest's hands. Forest had a good shape, and it took a bit of magic for Martinelli to actually break that low block. And Saka scored a worldie. But other than that, it wasn't really a convincing performance. But I'm not going to overly criticize Arsenal because it's the first game. Like Rory said, it's how many times has Partey played right back? He hardly was even at right back. He kept going into midfield. But I think Arsenal will start to, find their feet. Declan Rice, Havertz, maybe. I don't know about him. But I think you're going a bit too extreme, bro. It wasn't by mistake how they were playing last season. I can't lie.
I hear what you're saying, and I don't want to keep laboring on the point, innit? I'm just not ready to give Arsenal those props yet. If they produce the goods this season, then by all means, I'm ready to take back and bite the bullet, whatever, eat humble pie. I don't mind that. But when I look at that Arsenal team, I'm not frightened of them. I'm not scared of them, bruv. Never. I think Newcastle
it's the other way around.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Deji, if they finish outside of the top 5, this is the surprise. It's not the other way. You're making it as if they challenge again or they come second, that's a surprise. And it's the norm that they would come out of the top 5 because that was a freak season. I think it's the other way around.
Well, we're going to see, innit? We're going to see. But if Arsenal come out of the top 5, I will tell you, Mo, I told you so.
That would be a surprise. It can happen. Listen, everything in football can happen. Saka can get injured tomorrow. Saliba can get injured and everything. But that would be the surprise. People, when they make predictions, you have to accept it's a hot take for everybody else. If it happens, you are right, but it was a surprise. Like if Man United go on and win this season's Premier League, it's a possibility, yes, but it will be a surprise. It wouldn't be something that someone can come and say, I told you we'd win the league. You were just trying to make a statement and just trying to be different.
What I'll say is that I don't agree with this notion that Arsenal are automatically going to get second because they challenged City last season. That I don't agree with. That second is never a guarantee. Even first is never a guarantee unless Man City are about. Do you know what I'm saying? So for me, I think Arsenal will be in there because they've got the squad, they've got the players. There should be no excuses to finish less than third for Arsenal. In all honesty, they've got a big squad, man. They've got a massive squad. So that's what I think their advantage is right now. They've actually got that squad depth that they didn't have last season.
It's going to be interesting. It really is.